You know, I always look forward to this time where we get to chat about local history. And of course, there's only one person that we're going to do that with, and that is, of course, Harold Peacock from History Out There. How are you, mate?
I'm fantastic, Damo. Yeah, the westerly winds came through the other morning at about 1:30, but it's pretty mild out here. I can't complain.
Now, you're in Barcolden at the moment.
That's right. Yeah, I've been there for a week, and it's fantastic out here. I love it, but I'm here for a specific reason, and
Exactly.
it's about history.
I do know. In fact, you're on the search for the lost grave of Maggie McNeill, who went droving through the Darling Downs in the 1880s. So what have you discovered so far?
Yeah, that's right. Look, I've followed a trail up here, obviously coming up from my place up through to Toowoomba, Dalby, and I'm up to Barcaldine. That over the last couple of weeks, I've written stories about Muckadilla Boar and the Barcaldine Sand Goannas, a rugby league club. Go Sand Goannas. But the actual reason for me coming up to the Maranoa and Central West Districts of Queensland, like you say, is in search of that lost grave. Now, it's a lost grave of Maggie McNeill, who in the 1880s came droving with a husband up through the Darling Downs and onto the Barcaldine district. That's where in 1890 she drank herself to death. The publican buried her and then moved the hotel.
Oh,
Maggie's grave has been lost ever since.
no.
Yeah, now look, up here, with the research, I've been introduced to some wonderful people, Dame. Everyone's fantastic out here, as you know. And many of our listeners would actually, I reckon, know them pretty well. And all of them helped me with my quest for Maggie McNeill. There are people like the Mayor of Barcaldine, Rob Chandler. Give a shout out to Rob. He's been Mayor for 14 years and has been a really good help. Then there's James and Sue Walker, who I visited on their Cumberland property, famous for Santa Gertruda's cattle, and I expect they'd be well known by cattle producers everywhere. Then there's Dr. Sharon Broughton. She's the proprietor of the Shakespeare Hotel and a local historian, and also been a great help. And all of them have helped me trace the lost grave. Now, I came up here, now that's to somewhere that's now, or used to be known as 21 Mile Bore, that's between Barcaldine and Longreach. Now, this week I came actually on site and searched the area by foot. Now, we found a number of historic artefacts, including horse tack, shotgun shell bullets, buttons and bottle remains, which date from the 1880s through to the 1920s. We also found a dry stone wall and other really telltale signs of the presence of the ghost town. Then we identified two particular sites of interest. Now, one was a small isolated pile of rocks that looked like they could have been used to mark a grave. And then there was a rectangular area of rocks on sunken ground that also looked to be covering a burial site. However, while we were up here, we've received some new information that had come from a 103-year-old gentleman. He said that a cemetery south of the settlement dam had been there, and that when the current roadway had been moved in 1965, it was moved over the top of the old cemetery. So we refocused our search area on that particular part of the site, and remarkably, right where the man had said, along the side of the road, hidden by bushes, were a series of 5 or 6 rectangular areas of sunken earth that were perfectly lined up. Now, they appear to me to be unmarked grave sites, but more research is needed. But gee, Damo, it's looking promising. I then met 2 more local gentlemen, Louis and Chiller, who each gave me a mud map drawn from memory from 75 years ago of when the ghost town was still there, which when combined together, I reckon they'll lead me to Maggie McNeill. These are authentic treasure maps, and I'm already planning my next visit here, my next expedition. And like I could tell you, I'll tell you now, I'm on a really personal quest. Or to quote the Blues Brothers, I'm on a mission from God, because Maggie McNeill is in fact my great-great-granddad.
Oh.
And Maggie and her family escaped the Irish famine, came to Australia, where she nursed both my 3 times great-grandmother and my great-great-grandmother in their final days. She then came droving up through the Darling Downs, died under awful circumstances like I described, and was buried in the outback and forgotten.
Wow.
She never had any children of her own, so I kind of feel that it's coming on me that I need to do my best to at least try to find her. And that's why I'm planning my next expedition looking for
Well,
Maggie's lost grave, and hopefully I've got going to have something even more exciting to tell you next time.
well, that'd be very exciting. And you must get excited when you find these treasure maps too.
Oh, look, it's like in a movie, right? You're just finding this information. I'm looking at these X's and areas and lining them up with the current map. And yeah, look, this is we're getting close.
Well,
It's sort of like maybe next time I'll move on to finding Ludwig Leichhardt, the lost explorer. I don't know, but let's start with Maggie McNeill and these treasure maps that are given. It's drawn from memory, so it's not quite right. And I know things. I can prove things through archaeology that it's not there. It's there, but gee, it's a massive leap forward for hopefully the next expedition, which I think will be next winter, actually. So it'll be next year, early next year, but I will let you know.
well, right now, if you find a strange man wandering through your backyard in Barcolden wearing a Cobra hat, don't worry, it's just Harold Peacock on a mission.
That's right. A mission from God, and the mayor sent me there to do it.
There you go. Mate, you'll be posting this story up for us?
Absolutely. And some pictures too. There's some good pictures. I'll post that on my website, History Out There. It's on all the socials. You find links to it, but historyouthere.com.
Fantastic, mate. Enjoy your time in Barcolden. Have a safe trip back, and we'll look forward to catching up with you again next week.
I look forward to it.